The Friends of UNH Women's Hockey present Coach's Corner with head coach Brian McClocsy.
Hi, welcome to the Friends of UNH Women's Hockey's Coach's Corner. I'm Phil Kincaid, along with a recovering head coach, Brian McClocsy. He's been a little bit under the weather the last few days, and it's great to have you back and on board. Well, the Wildcats had a pretty good weekend. They headed up to Maine, where they took on the Black Bears for a pair of games, and things started out okay for Maine. They scored the first goal of the series about 10 minutes into the first period, but it was all UNH after that, as the Wildcats scored 15 straight goals, winning 9-1 and then 6-0. Coach, give us a little wrap-up of the series and how it went.
Well, I think, as you noted, we fell behind early the first night, but we generated some great chances. Maine played both their goaltenders over the weekend, and they both played very, very well. But I thought our team had one of our better weekends. I mean, we really controlled the puck well. We generated some quality scoring chances. The nice thing on both nights was, I think, was to see some different people really come forward scoring-wise. In particular, Sam Faber caught fire again. Jen Wakefield caught fire. Mikayla Long had a huge weekend. We got contributions from a lot of different people, but, it was just good to see different kids than maybe previous weeks really, really having their A games. So, I think that presents problems for any team if we're getting good scoring from a variety of sources, which we have most of the year. But I think in particular that two-game set, Wakefield, Faber, and Long were really on fire in that line, much like Sadie, Jen Hitchcock, and Leah Craig have been on fire for a large part of the season. When you get a couple lines going like that, then it's dangerous.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see Mikayla Long. I mean, here's a player who's been working hard all season long. Right. And not that she hasn't been on the scoreboard before, but she exploded, got 5 points. It's really nice to see when all that hard work begins to pay off.
Well, and I think Mikayla's in the middle, halfway through her second year here, and I've fully believe that some players just take a little longer. And Mikayla has been, it's a little bit like a baseball player that's getting good contact, but hitting the ball right at people, eventually the numbers are going to start to fall for them. And she has worked extremely hard. She's an incredible competitor, and she scored some beautiful goals for us over the last couple of weeks. So I'm excited for Mikayla. I'm excited for the team. I mean, we've been down a couple players since Christmas. We're hoping to get them back this week, and it bodes well for the stretch run without question.
Well, another player that made it out on the scoreboard, Angela Taylor, with her first goal of the season. Here's another player who, I look at some of the video, and here's a player who's not afraid to go into the corners, not afraid to work really hard, seems to give 110% every shift. It was just nice to see her get a little reward, too.
Yeah, and Angela's really had no puck luck. I mean, if anybody, we've kind of teased her, she's probably walked in, she's got one of the best shots in the team and hit the post half dozen times this year when she's had goalies cleanly beat. So, like you say, it was great to see a variety of people generate and finally get rewarded for their work. Also of note was Marty Garland had 5 assists on Friday, which pushed her to the 100-point Century Club, which is a very, very formidable accomplishment in this day and age. Not that it was ever easy, but I think for a defenseman, you just don't see that. It's very, very unique, and Marty had an excellent weekend. We got great contributions across the board, and both Kaylee and Lucy Shadle played the second night, and we got good goaltending. They didn't have a lot of shots, but we did have our share of breakdowns, and Lucy was able to get the shutout. So we're very pleased overall with the effort.
I want to mention one more name before we move on to what's ahead, and that is Stephanie Marty also. Her first goal of the season, that was a special moment.
It really was. I mean, between Stephanie and Angela, those two players have had, I've literally come out of my shoes a half dozen times on the bench this year for each of them, assuming that the puck was in the net. And for one reason or another, it just stayed out. And, the whole team was really excited for Steph, and it was great to see. Great to see the reaction of the team, and great to see her finally break through.
And now we're heading to BC this weekend, a team that may not be in contention to take the regular season title, but they're in a tough fight with Boston University for that final playoff spot, and it could be a precursor of maybe some postseason action as well. So a very important game.
Yeah, it is. And down in their building, they've had some very, very good games this year. I know it's been an adjustment year for them, but you still can't. You can never underestimate their talent. They've got plenty of talent, excellent goaltending. They're a very good team. And, much like the New York Giants, I guess, in this particular week, it's how you're playing at the end of the year. And, BC's a team that could really catch fire. We have a lot of respect for them and their players and coaching staff. So, I expect a very good game.
And as you mentioned, it's always a tough place to play. They play very strong at home.
Yeah, they do. They're a strong home team. They're a super skating team, which I like. It gives you a different look, different dimension. Probably the best skating team other than ours in the league. And so, I look for a real up-tempo, back-and-forth game, and I think it'll be close.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much. And keep the uptick health-wise. We'll be back next week with another edition of Coach's Corner.